up? Those are deer. This is a video. Walking and Talking, episode 14. This is the end of the third week. It's Friday. It's sunny momentarily. And today, since next week I'm probably going to talk a lot about movies and a lot about Marvel movies specifically because Avengers Endgame is at the end of the week, I figured today is a perfect day to go back to whiskey because I want to give my 5 recommendations for whiskeys that you might want to try this weekend if you're out at a bar, so you want to get a bottle with your friends. Here are 5 great whiskeys you can go out get. They're available most anywhere inside the US and they're not horrendously expensive. Obviously, price varies by state, price varies by county, it's all over the place. But this gives you a couple options of things to try that will be delicious and you'll probably love if you like whiskey. If you don't like whiskey, hey, no big deal. But you can listen to them anyway. Maybe you're getting a gift for a whiskey lover. So let's get into it. So number 1, let's start out with a blended scotch. And this is one I've recommended to a lot of friends, both ones that love whiskey and ones that are kind of not huge whiskey fans but want to try something interesting. And it is Monkey Shoulder. It's a blended scotch. 3 Highland / Speyside whiskey makers got together, took their single malt, put it in a barrel, shook it all together, and out came Monkey Shoulder. And you'll know it because there's 3 little stamped monkeys on the bottle, which I think is a really neat little gubbin on the bottle. Looks super cool. Excuse me. So number 1, Monkey Shoulder. Number 2, let's go with a bourbon. And I'm gonna go with 4 Roses single barrel. There are not many single barrels that are under 50, much fewer that are under 30, and especially with this kind of quality, and it's a great bourbon. Everything you like about a classic bourbon: cherry, vanilla, it's sweet, it's smooth, has that nice oaky finish and oaky spice to it. It is a magnificent example of a bourbon. Single barrel, so each bottle you get is probably going to be a little different, and it's a beautiful bottle. I can't say enough about it. I don't think there's a better value in bourbon, at least in my opinion right now, and that's not going to last long because 4 Roses single barrel is gaining in popularity real quick, and I expect prices to go up. I've had a couple of different glasses from a couple of different bottles that have been from different parts of the warehouse or different barrels, and every one I've had has been magnificent. So 4 Roses single barrel, great bourbon. Go try some. Next, we have a recommendation for an Irish. This is not going to be a normal Irish or traditional Irish, but it will be from a company most people recognize, and that is Jameson Castmates Stout Edition. There is also an IPA edition that's pretty good. The Stout Edition it hits all the marks for me. It's smooth, it's beautiful, there's a lot of different flavors to it. You get a bit of the coffee and chocolate from that stout. It's great. It's just basically what it is it's Jameson Irish whiskey that's aged in a stout barrel for a period of time. And it adds a little bit of nuance and complexity to what is just a pretty standard Irish whiskey, because most people who've drunk whiskey have probably at one point or another had some Jameson, and that may kind of turn them off to something like Castmates. But let me assure you, Castmates is something special, not crazy expensive, available pretty much everywhere, and it is a magnificent whiskey. And if you're looking for a cool gift, they do sell this little like box package that has the Castmates IPA, the Castmates Stout, and a regular bottle of Jameson, and I think a glass or 2, all packaged together for like 20 or 30 bucks. And then a full bottle of Castmates is like, I don't know, I've seen them for between like $25 and $35 ish, so it's not crazy. And some bars also do have them, but that I think is a little bit more rare because most will just have the standard Jameson and call it a day there. So let's get into number 4. This one is going to be a little more expensive. This is going to generally be between 60 and 70 in my personal experience, but I wanted to put a Japanese whiskey on this list And with the prices just going through the roof, it's really hard to recommend, because I'm sure by the time this video is out, or maybe by the time you see this video, either the availability won't be there, or it'll be more expensive than it's worth. But if you can get it around like 50-60 bucks, definitely do it. And my recommendation is Hibiki Harmony from Suntory. It is a magnificent whiskey on its own. It's a whiskey I love to give to people who maybe aren't into whiskey, or don't think they're into whiskey, who are used to having like a lot of burn when they drink whiskey, and a lot of just rougher tastes, that maybe aren't as into the strong flavors. Maybe they don't, maybe they drink coffee that's more like a Starbucks, I call them coffee milkshakes, but there's like very sweet and yeah, very sweet and light coffee drinks. This is more in line with that. It's a beautiful whiskey. It's a little bit less intense, but it still has a lot of complexity, a lot of nuance, and a lot of good flavor to it. Also, the bottle is beautiful. If you want a really cool bottle, Hibiki Harmony is on the list of kind of the coolest bottles out there. So yeah, that's my Japanese whiskey recommendation. It's going to be a little harder to find, and I'm sorry for that. But if you can get a bottle and it's not crazy expensive, highly recommend it, because it's great. It's delicious. Last but not least, number 5 on my list. This time I'm going to go with an Islay. For all my people that like strong flavors, who like real spicy food, and I don't mean like, spicy, I mean like real spicy food, or it makes you sweat a little bit, or you have to breathe a little hard after each bite. That's the kind of spicy I'm talking about. Or you love black coffee and you like to drink whiskey neat. This may be right up your alley. Not guaranteeing it, because everybody's a little different. It does smell like a campfire / leather bookstore that's on fire. But Ardbeg 10. It is one of the less expensive Islas that you can find here in the US. Generally it's around 50 bucks. You can even find like 50-ish to $60, the big like gift set with like 2 small glasses and the bottle of Ardbeg 10. But Islay whiskey is the smokiest of the smoky scotches. A lot of brine, a lot of salt. Ardbeg, it kind of tricks your brain a bit. When you smell it, you think you're going to drink this intense, fiery, spicy, smoky whiskey, and it's not. While it is smoky, it's very delicate and smooth. I haven't smoked many cigars in my life. I've smoked maybe like one, but I feel like it's kind of like that, where the taste is not as indicative of the smell as you think it might be. It is a beautiful whiskey, and you don't expect it. It is one of my favorite Islas, and one that'll definitely stay in my collection. It's right there with my favorite Islay of all time, which is Lagavulin 16, but that is a much more expensive bottle, so it gets an honorable mention spot on this list and not an actual recommendation, because this is meant to be an affordable list for people who want to go out and get some delicious bevs tonight.